Well, look who made it back. Yo, thank you for supporting the channel. We got a bunch of episodes filled with info on how we host, funny guest story with your boy Tay, current news with Shellie, and special guest appearances. Also features some local music artists for the outro, so make sure you stick around to the end, my friend, and peep all the links in the description. Dropping gems. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. So we're back at it again for another episode. And since it's March, spring is here. And you know what that means.
Spring is here. Everybody know it's spring again.
Coming up with, pulling out the archives. I'm like, what album that from? Oh. That must have been on the B side. You know,
it was a horrible
Okay.
attempt at
That sounded like it was straight from the 50s or 60s. This sounds like hotel music.
Put something in the comments if y'all remember that one.
Yeah, please. But yeah, so it's March, it's spring. So that means spring break is upon us. And as you know, our area is a tourist destination, spring break destination. And I thought it'd be good to talk about how as hosts we could like mitigate this season, because there's definitely going to see an uptick in certain things. For instance, a lot more younger people booking things. So what brought this to my up is not only is it time, but on one of the groups I'm in, a lady posted that a guy had booked their place and he was 19 years old. And he said, I read that the limit or your age limit is 18. I want to just make sure that's okay or that's true. Which was first, I thought was interesting because when I was booking Airbnbs, it was always 25. So someone having theirs at 18, I was like, oh, you either like maybe desperate or you just a really nice person? Because most people, I feel like they don't move from that 25 or 21 range. Like to let someone like 18 book, you're pretty nice as a host. Like that's kind of rare in my world. I don't know about you. Have you seen a lot of people? How would you feel comfortable letting someone 18 book your place?
Yeah, I choose different ways to mitigate, and I don't use age. You have to remember, I went in the military at 17.
Newsflash.
Here we go.
I didn't even know that was legal. I thought you had to be 18.
Your parents could sign.
Okay.
Your parents could
your
sign.
parents are like, nah, she can go, get her out of here.
No, it was a whole thing that we'll talk about another time.
Okay.
No, she definitely didn't want to do it. But so I went in the military at the age of 17. I feel like I was unusually responsible for my age. And we are in a military community.
Right.
So I personally...
That's a good point.
Yes. So I personally do not have the 25 age limit on my property. Now, I think for Airbnb, 18 is the limit, period, right? I don't even think you can do anything younger than that. Okay, maybe in Utah. But so I think you just don't have the 25 limit, which I don't have it either. And so I know some old clowns and some young clowns. So I think you can find another way and we can talk about that. But yeah, so that to me is not shocking.
See, and I'm like looking at my limit, I'm pretty sure mine's got to be 21. I don't think it's 18 or something, but I have to look. Maybe I don't have one. But yeah, so the guy said he was 19. He wanted to check things, and she was like, yeah, who's all coming with you was her follow-up question. And he said, my girlfriend, who is, I think he said 17 or 18, and her two friends, which were like 16 and 7, like, yeah, so it got younger and younger as he started doing it. And that's why she posted it. She was like, I don't know how to respond to this, because I think she was a little hesitant, because she's like, this is like a younger group and only one person is barely above this.
Barely an
requirement.
adult. Yeah.
So she was asking the group, what do we think, how we should respond? And someone was like, I really don't know. And I was like, you know what?
Oh, Lord.
This is something that I'm sure a lot of people would be debating. Like, okay, what would you do? I mean, would you be like, everyone's got to be a certain age? Obviously, I mean, families can book and you would have younger people. Do someone need to be like, is that why the 25 mark was made? Because it was like, this person is like at an age we feel like is going to be responsible, as opposed to someone who's 18 and got younger people with them. So I was wondering your thoughts on, if you were speaking to this host, what would you do in her situation?
Personally, I would be uncomfortable with one male, a girlfriend, two friends, I'm assuming are girls, and these ages get younger and younger. As a host and a mom, it's
Sucks.
flags on the play
Red
for me.
flags, yellow flags.
Yeah, it's flags on the play for me. So the fact that the ages continue to get younger, you really lost me with the girlfriend possibly being under 18. That was already, don't bring that here. Where y'all mamas at? You know what I'm saying? Because you're staying here because you're staying overnight. Right? This is a stay. So where your mama at? Where her mama at? Right? Where's your dad? Because what? Huh? It's a whole lot of flags in there, and that's probably more of the parental part of me that's showing up. But we already got an issue, and then you bring in some more girls, and so no, that wouldn't happen. It's not something I would advise my son to do. And so it definitely wouldn't go down in my space. And one of the things that I love about owning our own short-term rentals is we decide our comfort.
Right.
So for me, the response would be contingent upon how she feels about it. What is your response? Do you want to say yes? That's going to be one response. You want to say no? That's another response. So for me, it's like, where are you leaning? Now, if you're leaning toward no and you don't know how to say it, I go back to the old Nancy Reagan, just say no. So just say no. Just say no. Just say no to
Just say no.
Right. Just say no.
Drug program right here.
You know what I'm saying? And I have a little, nice professional way of saying no. But, you would just let them know, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with that, but I wish you all the best.
Right.
Be praying for y'all. But that would be kind of where I am. If you're comfortable with it, honestly, I will probably have some more questions to even determine if I'm comfortable. I'm almost like, y'all got a permission slip? Don't come up in here and then somebody's mom is mad because something crazy went down in my house.
Yeah.
The cops are coming, and I'm assuming this is a entire home and not just a room.
It is.
So I would be a little uncomfortable about people waking up the next day and just wondering what they did and why and what you were thinking. And I wouldn't want that happening in my spot.
And you made me think of something. I was like, can you get, let me get your parents on the phone or get something to sign off on some of the younger ones. Like, I wonder if people go through those steps when you have a situation like this. Because I was like, okay, he's of age, but everyone else, like, if y'all are the only ones there and there's no one past a certain, 21, then you're like, maybe we should have some additional, like you said, with the military and your parents sign off. And I was like, do we need, is Airbnb have that in there where you can kind of, is that okay? Could you be, require that from younger groups like that?
No. To answer that question, no.
Okay.
However, like I said, you generally got to be 18 or pretending to be 18 to even, book. And now they're requiring your ID and all that stuff, right? So your government ID. And I think that is to crack down on kind of the fake out. So I think what normally happens is kind of like that situation where Fantasia she booked it. The adult will book it for their kids. So, hey, if mom or dad is good with it, then generally they will book it for their kids. So that's why, again, it raises a question to me that, you know, you're booking and you bring in all these minors. And as you said, you're barely of age yourself. It just raises some flags for me. And this is an overnight stay. This isn't like just hanging out. This is, you know, people going to sleep and waking up in the morning.
Now, how does hotels handle that? Because I mean, it's been a long time since I've been that young. So I was like, I'm pretty sure.
You got to be 18. You can't just be booking stuff.
Right.
Right.
But if you booked and then you brought your group in there and some of them were under, would a hotel be like?
Good question. If you put their name on there, I think generally, and again, I've never done it being that age for younger teenagers.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm normally a mom, right? And these kids are staying there, and I'm booking a spot for all of us. So I'll check that, because that's a great question. But what I've seen just with me is, like, if their name is on there, then it's under you. If so you're still responsible. If you just book a room and then just like, hey, come on in, no one's gonna know, and they're not. And the same thing would have happened,
right,
to be honest, at her short-term rental.
Yeah,
if
which
they wouldn't have
to that
said,
guy for even saying,
right? Because
I was like, for me personally, when I read that and he was honest,
right,
that gave some points to my guy. I'm assuming it's a guy, I'm pretty sure it's a guy. But I was like, some people would have lied. Maybe most people would have lied and been like, oh, yeah. Like my boy Brandon last year. Brandon. Where Brandon at?
My Brandon
said it's just me and my girl.
Right. Your girl and 25 other people. Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a guy like that, I would have asked just more questions if it was me. And I would have been like, okay, this might be a credible person. But I would have been like, I probably would have took a chance. But also, I do a room, so I'm there. So there's times where I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I'm here for this guest a lot, just to make sure no funny business goes on. And I would really be super clear and direct about the consequences of certain things happening, of what they would be and how they would all fall on homie. I'd be like, hey man, anything goes wrong, this is all on you. You're gonna be the one responsible. So I'm just letting you know, whatever y'all came here to do, y'all better do it maturely and responsibly because it's all gonna be on you, my guy. And man to man, if it's a bunch of women and one dude, this is a lose-lose situation if something turns left, man. So you better be on your,
right.
Don't roll the dice, man. I wouldn't really roll the dice too much. Have some fun, but yeah, bro. If one of those girls has a bad experience around here, you're gonna not only have a situation with y'all, but there's gonna be legal actions as well as parental actions that is gonna just change the trajectory of your life. And you young, man.
You're young.
You don't want to start off like this in your adult world. You just turned 18 and now you got charges and things on your record.
Yeah.
Please govern yourselves for their church announcements.
Wow.
We'd like for you to hit the like button. It helps us with the algorithm, especially for a new channel like us. And Donte's experienced a lot of rejection, so he needs some likes in his life.
Somebody like me, please.
Also, please subscribe. Hit the notification button so you'll know when something new drops. Our giveaways are specific to our subscribers, so please subscribe so you can participate.
And ask us some questions. Leave us some comments.
Don't forget to share, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Because, and this is something personal I'll share. When I turned 21, growing up here, everyone knows, like, the person who's like of age, if you got people in your group who aren't of age, person of age, go grab the booze.
That's right.
Bring it down. And many times I've been on the beach, guys walk up to me who are young, in high school still, on spring break specifically. Hey man, I'll give you some money, go to the gas station for me. I mean, this has been going on for generations.
Yes.
It's regular. So for I actually got pulled over with my friends. My brother was driving, and I feel bad because, but he, that's kind of what we were willing to accept, this kind of risk at that age. We were young and dumb. But I was 21, everyone else was 20. So I went and got booze for everybody. Went to the car. We literally maybe popped one sip on the way to this party. Pulled over. And I got charged for distributing to minors.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was something that was on my record. And then fast forward, when I had another incident with the law that was involved with alcohol, and I go to this counselor, and he's looking at my record, which had multiple infractions with alcohol. He was like, you know what? You seem like you're taking care of business. I think I was like 23, 24 at the time. You seem to be doing business, but because of your record, I'm going to require you to go through all these other hoops and stuff, and you got to pay for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, me just giving some stuff to some minors just when we go have a party, and I had to spend hundreds of dollars and take time out of my day, drive across the city, sit in this counselor and prove to him that I wasn't an alcoholic.
Right.
And I was like,
Right.
It wasn't even worth out for a loco sip, bro.
Right.
So it's things I would tell him to think about. I would probably, so long story short, I would have leaned on probably given it a chance. I don't know what additional questions. I probably would have reached out to some experienced hosts a little bit more to see about, hey, let me just see some things I'll make sure I'm asking.
So you would have actually given it a chance during this time of year, spring break time. Now, I'm not talking, October. Spring break.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Let's paint the picture.
Yeah. We know what time it is.
Right. You would have still given that a chance.
I would have considered it, but you know me, I'm a little bit more risk taker. Probably that's why I would have went to my other people first. I would have asked them more questions because I would be like, hey man, I'm not super comfortable.
So like what kind of questions? Because we got hosts listening. So what kind of questions do you
my
think?
immediate questions are, where you guys coming from? What do you plan on doing? What brings you to the area, type stuff like basically. Then I would go, are you guys going to be, I don't know. That's a good question. That's why I would like reach out to people. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't really know where to dig without intruding into something like I can't, but I don't know.
Right, because those to me are kind of your standard questions.
Right.
So you're not going to get a whole lot, I'm from here, boo, 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 right? So I'm here for spring break, blah, blah, blah. So one of my questions right out the gate is, are you planning on inviting other guests?
Okay.
Because that sounds like a party to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you know anybody who lives here? What do you like to drink, tequila or vodka?
Oh my gosh. You probably ain't going to get that answer, right? Even a straight one.
Just set them up. Like, hey man, what should I drink? Tequila vodka? He's like, man, tequila's my thing. Gotcha.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're uncomfortable with asking the questions that's really gonna tell you the story, then I go back to my just say no.
Yeah.
Right? Because even asking the questions, you ain't gonna get her. Oh,
For sure.
for Bible study. There's a Bible conference.
And I think what it is, my knee jerk would be like, let me give everybody a chance. But if I would have sat on it, talked to people, 9 times out of 10, if I'm being honest, because I'm not that desperate, I would have been like, nah, man.
Right.
You got to go somewhere else. And I would probably give them like a hotel thing or something like that. Yo, try this out. But like, I was shocked that people do anything because I was like, oh, is that the one? For a group, in a young group, I probably would have been like, it would have probably been enough for me.
Yeah, I definitely don't have the age limit because my discriminator is the cost. Mm-hmm. Right? This ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the cost is going to
deter a lot
at 18, 19, can you come up with this? If you can, you can. If you cannot, you cannot. Now after you pay for this, will you be able to afford some booze? These are the types of things you got to ask yourself.
Yeah.
And of course we have cameras over the exterior of the property as well. So if I see more than the right number of people, then we about to have a problem, you know? So those are those types of things that, you can kind of have in place. I definitely have the no party option checked, on my listing. So you have all those kinds of things in place.
You just made me think about the camera situation. I was like, I wish I would have saved that video on my cameras when those cars pulled up. I would share that with the channel, people on the channel to see, because I was like, what would you?
I know.
When these big trucks pull up, but yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm not going to necessarily be asking questions, but again, and I'm not saying that a 17, 18, 19-year-old won't be able to afford my place. I'm not saying that. You might be able to. But again, do you want to spend that when there are other places where you can do that and da-da-da? Again, it's kind of where you are. Mine is in a neighborhood. I think if you're kind of like where your place is, you got a lot of space around you. So I think those types of things are kind of, hey, party central, right? You ain't gonna be able to park all over the place in my neighborhood, you know? So I think there are just some things that are kind of, built in already with my place that'll make it a little bit more of a challenge for that type of activity.
Maybe you could do can you put like a pull-up clause in it? Like, I'm liable to pull up.
Well, listen, you'll pull up and party, though.
Everybody coming there like, yo, where the DJ at? Just turn up, man. Just turn up. I'm going to just pull up. People are like, oh, yeah, there you go. And then I'm like, but just so you know, I'll pull up. I can pull up anytime I want. Just so you know, bro.
I'm definitely a no pull-up host. You know that. So I'm probably not pulling up. But the neighbors might make sure the cops pull up on you.
Yeah.
So, those are all those things. But I think it's a great thing to think about and consider for this time. And so, we'll keep talking about, kind of the spring break.
Yeah, because it's crazy. I'm not going to deal with it this year. So I'm just not even sweating too much, but I thought it'd be good because I know a lot of people are already preparing. And I was wondering how are you preparing for it and stuff like that?
Well, I just had my first spring break guest who came for a week. It was their spring break.
Right.
And again, it was all good. No
How many
issues.
people was it?
3.
3?
3.
And it was a couple days?
It was 5 days, I think. Rolled down, stayed, did their thing. I mean, just no issues. Rolled out. The cleaning lady came after them. She's like, oh, I think somebody got sick. Looks like, somebody got sick, on the sheets. And I just hit her up and was like, let me know if it doesn't come out. And she hit me up. She's like, okay, everything came clean, so we straight. So
the vagueness right now.
I was just like, all right.
No, it was a mess.
Right. So
Somebody got sick.
Yeah, she was like, I think somebody got sick. She sent me pictures. I was like, let me know if it don't come out. But then she came back. She's like, hey, everything came out. We cool.
All right.
No need to air cover, nothing. Just little soap, water, bleach.
For sure.
We back in business. So yeah. So it was all good.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So we'll prayerfully keep it rolling just like that.
Well, I'm definitely going to be interested in hearing about how your March goes, the spring break time, and if you have any interesting things happen, like some party fouls or some wild guests, definitely will have to have you share it on one of the episodes.
And anybody else, drop in comments. You guys have some questions, some stories. Let us know.
Yeah, as a guest or a host, and please, we'll read some of them on one of the future episodes. So we definitely read our comments. Anyways, any last thoughts on mitigation of the spring break season?
No, like you, that person put, there's certain, Miami's got some stuff where they're trying to crack down. I haven't necessarily heard a lot in our area, but I did actually hear that they are now enforcing, apparently this rule, there's a big thing where it's like, that's a rule's always been on the books. And I was even like, for real? Who knew? But apparently they are now enforcing a rule on Navarre beaches about you not being able to be at the beach at night. And I didn't even know that was rule number one. And so, yeah, so someone actually posted saying that, she was cleaning and the beach. She does like beach weddings kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so she was cleaning the beach in preparation for a beach wedding they were doing the next day. And the officer actually let her know that she couldn't be there. And she's like, this affects my livelihood. What do you mean? So I don't know what time her beach wedding was the next day or whatever. But people were like, that's always been a rule, like dusk to dawn.
They have had some stuff go down.
Exactly.
Cool. And I can only imagine at some point they said we have to shut it down. Because, they can't really enforce a entire beach and, like,
right,
those resources out there constantly. It's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of beach. So
it's a lot of beach. They
should just shut it down.
So, yeah. So, but I think they are doing a little bit more enforcing. And to me, if you're just enforcing nighttime, I think that is probably the most minimally invasive way to try to control the wilding out. So I don't feel like they went over the top like Miami Beach kind of has. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with it. I want people to be safe. I think everybody does. We want people to have a good time.
Yeah.
But we want people to be safe. And so we'll just see what happens. But yeah.
Agreed. You gotta be safe out there, everyone, host, guests. And hope you guys have a great spring break season. Till next time.
Spring break.
We need some better spring break songs. Cue the spring break music. We out.
You never heard that song?
Give you what you want. The road to Orlando, he took me to and from. Not one accident, now that's what's happened, none. Since an adolescent, I've been blessed without a question. To prosper, I've been destined, past, future, and my present. I praise you because of you, Lord. I've learned some lessons. Diligently get on the knee when the devil starts messing. I thank the Lord because I never had to slang, yeah. Was raised right, and my sister was the same way. And we was taught how to get down on our knees and pray for every single blessing on each and every day. Jesus took 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread.